Coral Expeditions has been operating for over 40 years, and we have a single purpose in mind, and that is to take like-minded small groups to remote and unique destinations as we go through, also providing warm Australian hospitality. We provide a true expedition experience. So anytime that we're going and doing our voyages, we are experiencing the destinations that we go to. We're teaching you about the places, the history, the culture, and the environment as we go through. And we like people to get out there and enjoy. If you don't want to go out and do your shore excursion, you don't have to, but it's a great opportunity. We've also got the perfect tender vessels to be able to take you across. Most of the places that we go to do have some of the rugged terrains as you go through, so wearing comfortable walking shoes is a great idea. We spend more time ashore as we engage with local communities and the cultures to discover the unique and remote destinations. As you can see here in this photo, we also have the use of our two Explorer vessels, either the Explorer Tender, the one with the blue roof, or the one with the Zodiac tender as we go through. So we're able to get up close to the shore as we do the experiences. We have our expedition leaders and our guest lecturers to share their expert knowledge as they go through. And this is a photo of the Dampier archipelagos as we go through, and this was a beautiful walk, and you can see the beautiful ochre sands as we go through. It was an easy walk, it was timely, and as we go through, but also our expedition team and guest lecturers do carry walkie-talkies to be able to communicate with other staff members and the crew, and we also carry our personal first aid kits as we travel along. It is a relaxed atmosphere and an all-inclusive experience whilst you're on board. So being able to go and have talk to the captain in the bridge, go and talk to the crew up there, having a nice champagne or sunset drink over on the beach, or even just taking the time and enjoying a nice cup of tea on one of the many balconies on the ship that we have around. We have plenty of outdoor space for you to be able to get around and just explore and look out. I've mentioned our Explorer tenders. They are the safari jeeps of the sea. You can see in the top right-hand photo that the crew member leaning over the railing there. That is where all of the guests will be able to step across and board the Explorer tender. It's a nice, easy transition from the ship to the Explorer tender. And then if you look at the lower photo, that is the Explorer tender sitting on the hydraulic platform. Once all the guests are seated and all the arms are tucked in, the hydraulic platform lowers, the tender starts floating, and then the tender will take off to be able to commence your shore excursion. As you arrive over at the beach or over at land, the tender will pull straight in, the ramp at the front will lower, and guests are able to walk straight off the tender vessel onto the beach or onto the rocky terrains or wherever we're going for the shore excursions. They also do have a full canopy, as you can see on the bottom left-hand photo. That canopy is ideal for when we're out on doing the shore excursions, especially in the sun or inclement weather. And they protect you from the sun and the rain. And we do have clears or the blinds that come down in case the rain is coming in and going sideways. There's also a comfort toilet on board for during the shore excursions. I go to the next slide. There we are. We also use our Zodiac tenders, the Zodiac inflatables, and we use these more for the snorkeling and diving, or maybe as we're going through, get the horizontal falls and the Kimberley. We also use the Zodiac inflatables as a security vehicle as we're going through. So if we're out on the tender vessel, we also have crew members on the Zodiacs that are following the tender just in case something happens. The tender vessels, both the Explorer tender and the Zodiac, are ideal for snorkeling and diving opportunities. You can see here how people can just step off the side and jump into the water to commence their snorkeling activities. We have a ladder at the back of the tender, and that's lowered into the water to make it easy for you to board back onto the Explorer tender. The Coral Geographer is the ship that is doing the Abrolhos Islands vessel. This is a vessel that we took ownership of. We built her and she was delivered in March 2021. She accommodates 120 people with 60 twin share staterooms. Very comfortable, lots of outdoor space. We've got the vista decks for those barbecues of an evening as we go through. You've got the balcony or the veranda outside of the bridge area, and all of the staterooms are outward facing. It is a very comfortable vessel to travel on. It is a shallow draft, so that means we're able to get up close to the shore. So when we're doing the transition from the ship to our shore excursions, you've got less time traveling on that transition across as we go through. As I said at the beginning, I had the pleasure of doing this voyage back in 2019, actually. It wasn't 2018, it was 2019 as we go through. It was beautiful. We had just launched this voyage, and it was actually the inaugural voyage as we did it. But we have quite a few departures that doing for 24 and 25 as we go through. So we operate in September, February, August as we go through. It departs from Broome or departs from Fremantle as we go and explore the coral coast of Western Australia. I loved it over there because it was beautiful, bright blue waters or green waters, and it was right up against the ochre sands. The Dampier Archipelago is one of the first stops as we're leaving Broome as we go through. It is a haven for marine life and bird life as we go through, and there's lots of history to be able to look and explore. There's opportunity to swim here as we go through, but also the rock formations in this particular area are just amazing. It is quite picturesque and very remote over there on the Indian Ocean. The Montebello Islands, it's quite an interesting islands as we go through. They were actually going through, it's a series of islands that form this one destination. And as we look through, you can see here that there is quite a bit of wildlife there, swimming opportunities, snorkeling opportunities as we go through. We've also got the beach combing as we have a look. It is a very arid type of population, the grass, long grass or scratchy grass as we go through and explore that particular area. We've got the Muiron Islands and the Suroya Islands. Now, as we go through here, there's lots of good snorkeling and diving opportunities as we go through this particular area. They're beautiful coral reefs. They're colourful soft corals. They're great manta rays as we look forward, and there are very good dive sites in this particular area. The bird life is abundant on shore, and it's just a nice way of being able to see the competition from the coral and the seagrass as we're feeding the local fish as you look around. If you're not interested in diving, that doesn't matter. The snorkeling opportunities are there. But if you're on the Explorer tender, our crew will also point out some of the many fascinating sites of these particular areas. When we visit Exmouth and Cape Range National Park, and this particular area is very well known for Ningaloo Reef, we visit this area outside of the whale shark season. So as we go through, so we won't be there for the whale shark season, but they're deep oceanic waters, beautiful turquoise blue waters as we go through, an amazing history with the lighthouses that we have and the communication channels back in the 1943s when we had the US Navy in the range area. They built towers in the Exmouth area to be able to communicate with the submarines that were in the Indian Ocean to be able to then connect and communicate back to the US as we go through. We also visit Yardie Creek. Now, this is just outside of the actual Exmouth town, and it is a whole area. It's where the white lighthouses are. It's a 1.2 nature walk as we explore, and it actually sits in amongst. So you're going in further inland to have a look at the arid coastal areas of Exmouth and the West Coast. You can see here when we're cruising the Ningaloo Reef, there's different times that we can explore, but it is abundant of wildlife and marine life as we're looking at it. So there's opportunity for your out of water experience, activities, as well as the in water. Again, diving and snorkeling is here. There's over 500 different species of fish in this particular region. Shark Bay, now that is an interesting place as we went through. It is the first location in Western Australia that received the UNESCO World Heritage status in 1991. I thoroughly enjoyed swimming in these beautiful warm waters as we went through. It was detailed, it was close to the areas as we looked through, but you could still see where we were, those ochre sands as you go through, and the sand dunes as we looked at it. It was just a nice different part. And also we've got the opportunity to go and have a look at Dirk Hartog Island, which was a great landing in 1616. So we've got time permitting to be able to go and have a little bit more of the history and the areas of what we've done. In this particular area, there is the rare flora and fauna, and it's home to staggering 35% of all Australian bird species. So again, for the marine life, the bird life, and the flora and fauna, it's quite different. But even just having a look at where we are in the sands, it's a great experience. The Abrolhos Islands in the Wallaby group, again, it's the marine life and the bird life, but it's also home to a lot of where the crayfish or the lobsters are caught. So we will go there and have a look and go and meet some of the families there that live there, and it's quite unique dwellings as you go through. They are also doing the lobster or the crayfish catching. And we will actually pick up some fresh lobster and take that back on board and serve that up to our guests as we go through. These places and the dwellings that they live in are quite unique, quite different, and they're basically living off the grid as we go through. But it's also very well known for its pearling. So we'll teach you, or the locals will teach you about the pearling as we go through. It's just actually quite interesting. And there's opportunity to buy some pearl jewelry direct from the local people as we go through. The Abrolhos Islands in the Easter group. So again, it's beautiful waters, and there's lots of sea lions in this particular area, and they will come up close to you as you're swimming or snorkeling as you go through. You can see that people are being able to get close. We do not get right on top of our sea lions as we go through. We do give them some space, but even as you're sitting in the water or snorkeling and swimming, they will come up and swim beside you or come and sit beside you, as it was my case when I got to do the trip. Again, there are vibrant coral reefs in this area. So continuing on with these islands where we're at, and this was us at one of the at Placia Island in the southern part of the Abrolhos Islands, where we went and met the families and got the crayfish or the lobsters as we went through, and also learnt a little bit more about the lobsters, about the pearling of this particular area. So they taught us as we go through and actually how they live and do these things. So by this time, we've made nice new friends and joined on board and had a look around, and we've had sunset drinks, lots of good food. We've learnt about the destinations, and then we've just thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. And at this time, we're either, as I said, it departs or boards in Broome or Fremantle. It is time to say farewell as we arrive into the port. Thank you very much, and I will apologise for the little confusion right at the beginning, but I'm happy to answer any questions should you have some.